So I wanted to get this video out before I went to bed here. I had a lot more information to put out about Ripple, but before we do that, there's a couple updates here. I've got my Twitter up and running. It's not loaded up yet. I mean, I don't have a lot of tweets yet. I got a few followers and posted out, a few of my own tweets. Got some people I am following. If you guys have a Twitter, shoot me a message. I'll look you up and I'll follow you, and I hope you do the same, vice versa. I'll be putting a lot of my quicker information out there, a lot of retweets. I'm gonna put some of these articles out there, so I don't necessarily have to do full videos on them if I feel that the article is important, but not important enough to do a video on. You'll find it in my Twitter. Um, I also got Steemit up and running. It's not. I wrote my first article. It's whatever. I mean, more or less, it was a link to my last video. There was some information in there. The only downside is that when I named it the Irish Crypto. That's what I was going to go with my YouTube channel name. And I put a lot of thought into Lucid Crypto Patriot because I wanted the transparent Crypto Patriot. That's what it meant. You know what I mean? So um, yeah. So there's my quick updates. Irish Crypto. That's me. It is what it is. It displays the name differently in different aspects of it, but whatever. It's up and running. There's going to be more of those coming. There's going to be more articles written there, quick tweets out with articles that I think pertain to what we have going on. And I wanted to talk to you about what is really going on in the crypto world right now. I mean, one of the biggest things that isn't really being talked about is legality, legality, legality. So I'm going to put out a disclaimer. It seems redundant to even do so, but I am not a financial advisor. I do not write the law. I am not bound to uphold the law, and I do not provide any financial um, recommendations. Everything that I say on my video is truly my own perspective of what I read and my own opinions. So if I get the law wrong, it's, it's just me reading an article, man. So I just want to put it out there. I'm not super fluent on it, but I do read and comprehend, you know. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So like I had reflected into in my last video, banks and companies, they don't want a technology like Bitcoin. They don't want a technology like Dash and Pivx because they can't see it. They can't control it, and decentralized banking is a fear because if you take out the banks, you take out a significant amount of people that hold money in general, as well as you knock out a very large industry. Now, although, and looking back, we should be able to control all of our money, and that's the end of it. And then you could talk about the IRS, but I'm not even going to go there. The bottom line is a lot of good changes are coming. There are some that are like, man, why'd you make that a law? But let's talk about a couple. I got a couple quick ones, and then we'll talk about how it reflects to Ripple. So the first one is Arizona just passed a law, a bill rather, HB 2417, and it appears to be done from what I understand. Oh yeah, it passed 28-1. All right, because I was like, I swear it was already a bill. But the point is they're making smart contracts legally binding. So a contract relating to transaction may not be denied the legal effect, validity, or enforceability solely because that contract contains a smart contract term. So that means that you really can use um, smart contracts as a binding agreement, which is awesome because as that moves forward, that's good. That's good news for Ethereum. That's good news for a lot of different cryptocurrencies. But in general, they're starting to make laws to uphold what we already knew was right. So that's a big one right there. So why Ripple? Ripple is coming up because of some big changes that are happening in Japan. Why did my computer just suddenly slow down? Basically, there was a law that passed last year, if I'm not mistaken. What is going on here? May of last year. And apparently it doesn't come into full effect until this year. They're saying April-ish, May. Or March rather. I thought for some reason it said April. Oh, it's being enforced in April, whatever. So basically what it comes down to is they are tightening up regulations. They're basically, you're going to have to document a lot more than you had before. Kind of like how Poloniex wants you, you can use Poloniex for free, so to speak, but you can only take out like $2,000 or whatever it is a day or deposit and move around unless you provide your driver's license and then a passport, a picture of you with your passport, and then you can get up to, I think it's 27,000. But whatever it is, it's similar to that from how I understand that law. Also, as of yesterday, well, technically it's Sunday morning, but whatever, as of Friday, um, they are making current digital currencies are basically they're gonna carry weight to a degree. So the new law defines Bitcoin and other virtual currencies as a form of payment method, which is huge. That is huge. It means you can legally go to the store, purchase something, be it. They have that technology set up to accept it, and hopefully that gets adopted very quickly because I think it will. However, it'll still be considered an asset. So we still got some work to do because I don't feel like that we should be taxed on a something that's considered a currency because you're not, you know, why? I mean, I can't go to the store and pay with stocks I may have in my Fortune 500 companies. I'm just saying in general. I couldn't put that onto my wallet, go up there and digitally scan that shit and say I want to buy a Pepsi, whatever. So why the hell is it a money, but it's not a money, but you tax it over here? So whatever. So we're making progress, and I think that those two latest things, what Japan did, and what Japan is doing starting tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Friday rather, is a huge reason why Ripple is going through the roof. Now, there are some things to look out. I'm going to put this website up. I highly encourage that you sign up to at least look at their newsletters. They've got like a monthly sign up thing. There's no way, as of right now in my current state, that I'm willing to pay $40 a month for this information from the site. They do have a lot of free stuff. I think $40 a month is kind of outrageous. But basically, they do break this down how there's essentially two bubbles that Ripple has to break before it'll start collapsing. They say it already passed the first one and it's potentially approaching the second one where it will crash again. Although I honestly disagree because I don't believe they've taken into consideration those laws and those new regulations that are passing, as well as the fact of how high it is in the total ranking by market value right now. So I feel like there's not enough foundation for that. Now, rapid growth, 140, 150% can be scary, but not when you're looking at it from this angle. It has to find a place to settle, just like Dash is finding a place to settle in the 50s. I was really hoping it was the 70s, but I think it's going to settle in the 50s. And then what's going to happen is it's going to go for another bull run. It's going to hit 150, 200. But this is a little article. This gets way more technical than I care about, so to speak. I mean, I am a trader, and a lot of this does make sense. I just don't feel like everything that applies in stocks applies to cryptocurrency. So using that same method, the same methodology, I don't feel is 100 is as accurate. Um, so that's what's going on there. So here's a little information here. Basically, uh, this is the order I was talking about that passed last year and is going to come into effect this year. I'm going to attach it to it. It was translated from Japanese to English, to be honest, and there's still a language barrier there. So you can familiarize yourself with it. I just feel like if Japan's making as big a moves with this currency that they appear to be, or cryptocurrencies in general, rather, it'd be pretty hard to ignore that other countries aren't going to do the same. You know what I mean? I feel like they almost have to, in a respect. Now Japan's in a whole lot of troubles in itself, um, with whatever they think they're doing with Fukushima, but whatever. If they've got their finances in order, let's separate the conversations. You know. The latest one was my rebuttal of the decentralization. So this is a old article. It is old. It's from April 2015. Okay, and there's been massive changes from since then until now. Um, Craig Grant referenced how some people have a bad Ripple's put a bad taste in their mouth, just like how some people have got a bad taste in their mouth from Dash, back when they had like an instant mine concern, blah 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 blah. So one of the creators of Ripple, he um, he had basically $1 million worth, and he tried to cash it out, and basically they stopped it intentionally, returned the funds, but they froze them and sent it back. And this is why I will argue that it's decentralized. Now, can this still happen now in 2017? I honestly believe it can, um, which is why um, you have Dash, Pivx, Monero, and Bitcoin, because you can't freeze shit. It's just the bottom line. If I sent you money, that's all there is to it. You could never freeze. The IRS could never freeze that asset. No one could ever freeze that asset. Now, hacking and different things in your wallet, if you've got a terrible hardware wallet, or you don't have like a physical one, like a like a ledger note, or ledger key. Why can't I remember that? Man, ledger, whatever. Um, and there's several other hardware wallets where you can physically detach them from the computer with coins on it, so to speak, and then throw it in a safe and be done. That can be hacked. Your computer can be hacked. The physical devices are pretty difficult to. Paper ones are pretty safe. Um, but you're never gonna be able to freeze assets on Dash. You know, so I don't know. It's something to think about. I wanted to put it out there. I wanted to discuss why I believe it's decentralized. There's a ton of information here. So I'm going to wrap this video up tonight. But like, subscribe, hit that notification button. If you like the information I put out, please donate. If you're into mining, use my cloud mining Genesis affiliate code. And make sure that you visit some of my other social media platforms, because I will be growing all of those as well. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.